I'm Chris Cadieux, and before we get started, you have to check out some of Jeff's work. This first one is from Dave Made of Maze. What? Look at that. Sketch. Tons of the set was made out of cardboard. Piano. Come on. So cool. Next one, stop motion Mr. Rogers project. Next up, Tumbleleaf. Look at that tree. Look at that ship. Bring on the train. Look at the detail. Seriously, this is so cool. He made a marlin. Don't forget about that, flippin' little marlin. And finally, if you're in Fresno, go check out Storyland. I am not joking. This stuff is amazing. Let's dive into the interview. Please welcome Jeff White. Official welcome to you, Jeff White. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super happy that you said yes. Honestly, was blown away by the work you've been doing on your website. Seriously, like it's so good.
Thanks. Yeah.
I know you've, of course, worked on and collaborated with people all the time in different ways, where a large number of people are all trying to create something that's going to be either on that same stage or lately for you in that same frame. How would you describe like what makes a good collaborator or a good person on part of that team?
Of course, yeah. I mean, this is a really great question because it's something I constantly am working on. We're constantly working on how to be a good team member yourself, and how to find good team members. And so starting with myself, I try to be very proactive. And what I mean by that is, I don't stand back and always wait for someone to say, you go do that. You go make this shelf. I will say, hey, it looks like there needs to be a shelf over there. Is that something I can do for you? 3 types, I would say, that I would hire. One person would be the kind of person that I would show up in the car, open up the back of the van or whatever, and they would wait. They would stand there and wait for me to say, unload this and put it there. And that was great. They would do everything I asked them to do, and they were great at it. But once they were done putting the item from the car to there, they stop and wait for me to ask them to do the next thing. It's a little frustrating because there's a lot to do, and those guys had done it for a long time with me, and they should know what the next step is.
Right.
And then there's the opposite, where I open up the car and there's another person that's there, and he starts taking everything out, and then he starts unpacking everything and putting it on. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. That's too far. It's nice. It's too far. And so what I tend to like is somewhere in the middle, where it's someone that watches. I open up the car and I pull out a box, and they're like, oh, this guy's pulling out a box. Obviously these boxes are coming out. And sometimes they'll ask question, are all these coming in? And I'll go, yeah, they're all coming in. They're like, boom. I don't even say, please move the boxes. They're just doing it. It's very proactive. And I find that to be an easier way for me to collaborate. And that's a very mundane thing, but it can work in an artistic nature too. I'm putting together a team. I'm really looking for yes people. I really don't want to work with people that go, no, I don't think we can do that. It's so pessimistic. And and we are constantly doing things we cannot do. We are constantly working on things that we have never done before, that no one has done before. For that matter, I love to work with people that say, this looks really hard, but hell, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get on it. You know what? Let's do it. If we can't, we'll find out at the end. But right now, let's think in terms of the can do. And so in the collaboration and looking for a team, I want people that are willing to just try the impossible. Let's try to do something we've never. We're gonna make a giant dragon that blinks and shoots out flames, and puppeteers can move it. It's going to be 15 feet, 20 feet tall, and people are going, oh oh no, we can't do that. Yes, you can. Let's give it a shot. Almost every project, in my lady right now, she always sees me go through it, where I come home and I'm like, I hate this project. I want to get off of it. I don't want to do it anymore. This sucks. And she goes, you say that about every project, and then you, at the end of it, you love the fact you worked on it. So stop whining about it and just enjoy it.
And literally, I think I've started noticing every show, there's a certain point, maybe 2 weeks away from opening, maybe a week and a half, and you think to yourself, oh, this is it. This is when I failed. This is the worst show I've ever done. Everyone's going to hate it.
Yeah.
And then opening night comes and you're like, is this the best show I've ever done? Like,
it is a point where at some point in every project you question your own taste and your own ability to do things, and you go, wait. And sometimes it just is another person next to you going, you're doing a good thing. Let's just keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I will start from the beginning, and I will work with the production designer to help dial in the look, and taking the look that's on the paper and turning it into something that's buildable. I just did something for Netflix, and it was an animated stop motion animated piece, and it's for Christmas next year. You'll see it.
Nice.
It's called Alien Xmas, so look for that.
Nice.
And we had a team of people that were I would say in the art department, maybe 30. There were 30 of them. So I'll just shuffle out the projects and give them to people, and then they'll do their magic, and we'll shuffle that onto the stage and shoot the shots.
All right, we're going here for last thing, cookie jar questions. What's the last thing that made you angry?
The last thing that made me angry, me trying to clean up my shop just before this this interview.
I know you well enough to back then to go, did he clean that for the show right now? Like,
it was a mess.
What's one movie that you could watch over and over and over again?
You know what? I will watch Christmas Vacation every time it comes on.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
That's awesome. If you had to light one thing on fire, what would it be?
Probably at this point, my beat up old car.
Okay. Nice.
It's time for a new one.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to light the sets we work on at the end of the show. I just like to take them down to the beach, get a bonfire. At one point, you have so much love for the project you just did, but at the end of it, it's so much work that you're like, I hate everything about what I'm looking at right now. And you're like, and it would just be so cathartic to just take it down, put a little gasoline on it, and just light it on fire and watch it burn.